Okay. Now I feel better. Had a sleep hour. Oh, yeah. I got to tell Junior I'm on. Oh. So the nice thing is another reason how we can see where we are is when people start teaching what we are. Then you'll know it's real. Well, people are teaching it. Starting to teach this. All right. Get my glasses on, then we'll go forward here. Be steadfast in thy covenant, and be conversant therein, and wax old in thy work. And I got these doors. You can tell the building moves. And our doors go by themselves. Marvel not at the works of the sinners, but trust in the Lord and abide in thy labor, for it is an easy thing in the sight of the Lord on the sudden to make a more poor man rich. The blessing of the Lord is the reward of the godly, and suddenly he maketh his blessing flourish. Say not, what profit is there of my service, and what good things shall I have hereafter? That's a good one. Never ever say, oh, I'm not profiting from it. You should never look at what you're profiting. It's not about what you're profiting. Again, say not, I have enough and possess many things, and what evil shall I have hereafter? You don't have enough. If you say you have enough, then you don't have enough. It's this every day until there's no more world left. In the day of prosperity, there is a forgetfulness of affliction. And in the day of affliction, there is no more remembrance of prosperity. So for me, I'm in this. There is no gain of the world. I'm not looking for any gain of heavens or the world. I don't do this when I'm in pain and when I'm not. I do it all the time. Yeah, that's what the Lord wants. For it is an easy thing unto the Lord in the day of death to reward a man according to his ways. The affliction of an hour maketh a man forget pleasure, and in his end his deeds shall be discovered. Everything comes to light in the end. Now, to God's children, nope. Even some sins are hidden. I'm not going to talk anymore. Bring not every man into thine house, for the deceitful man hath many trains. Like a partridge taken and kept in a cage, so was the heart of a proud. And like a spy watcheth, for he will for he watcheth he for thy fall. They watch for you to fall. There's a spy in our camp. Everybody's got a spy in his camp. Just the way it is. Can't get rid of him. For he lieth in wait, and turneth good into evil, and the things worthy. Praise will lay blame upon thee. He will lieth in wait like a lion, and turneth good into evil, the word into evil, and the things worthy. Praise will lay blame upon thee. Of a spark of fire, of a heap of coals is kindled, and a sinful man layeth wait for blood. He's the one that heapeth fire. What's he saying? They want to add to your sin. They want you to get angry. They want you to hate them. They want you to sin. Anyways, take heed of the mischievous man, for he worketh wickedness, lest he bring upon him thee a perpetual blot, blotting out. Receive a stranger into thy house, and if he will disturb thee, and turn thee out of thy own. If he's disturbing you, it's time to go out on your own. That's the same as I tell my wife. If you try to get between me and God, that's one thing I'm never going to let you do. I have warned my wife that. If you impede me in any way, we'll still have to warn her. Still have to tell her sometimes. Sweetie, it doesn't matter what I do when you're gone. I am here to teach the children, not you. You don't listen. My own wife doesn't want to listen. This is what they do. They cover their ears. Hold on a sec, guys. I'm waiting for something to come in my mail so I can get up, walk around once in a while when I'm talking. I hate just being bound to one area. Then we should have had winter start here. Not really. Looks like it is, but when thou well do good, know to whom thou doest it, so thou shalt be thanked for thy benefits. I thank everything in the heavens. Do good to the godly man, and thou shalt find a recompense. And if not from him, yet from the Most High. Do good to the godly man. Well, do good to anyone. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no harm. Always occupied in evil. Give to the godly man, and help not a sinner, a false teacher. That's what it's talking about. That's a true sinner. A true sinner is someone false teaching. The rest is an illusion. Because that's spiritual. Uh-oh. Do well unto him that is lowly, like me or you. But give not to the ungodly. Hold back thy bread, and give it not unto him, lest he overmaster thee. Don't feed them pearls, them dogs. Thereby, for else thou shalt receive twice as much evil. Okay, so we're in that day that we can't do that anymore. Last day, you can't do that anymore. If you're teaching the evil, you're going to get twice as much evil in this time. So 4 times in this time. For all the good thou shalt have done unto him, and you will receive twice as much for the good you do to him. Why? Because you're taking double now. So if someone attacks you and you turn your cheek, you're now taking double the light. For the Most High hateth sinners, false doctrine. They're the sinners. And will repay vengeance unto the ungodly, and to keepeth them against the mighty day of their punishment. Give unto the good, and help not the sinner. Help not the church. So I seen someone I was trying to help her before. She goes on to internet to get questions answered because she doesn't know them. She asks the deepest questions and then puts a lie to it so that people answer with a friend cannot be known in prosperity. You will know someone by what they have. They have nothing. They should be happy and have joy. I see that with the Mexicans. They have nothing, but they live 5, 10, 15, 20 people in one little house, and they're happy as ever. And an enemy cannot be hidden in an adversary. Can't be in there. You either got God in you or the devil. In the prosperity of a man, enemies will be grieved, but in his adversary, even a friend will depart. Never trust thy enemy, for like as iron rusteth, so is his wickedness. Through he humbled himself and go crouching. Yet take good heed and beware of him. And thou shalt be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust hath not been altogether wiped away. You will know where they are, so that if you can help them, you can come down to their level to help bring them up to where you are. That's what it's talking about. Set him not by thee, lest when he hath overthrown me, he stand up in thy place. Neither let him sit in thy right hand, lest he seek to take the seat, and thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked therewith. So, when you've overthrown him, when you've overthrown the evil, don't pick it back up. Don't let it stand in thy place. You've already overcame it. So that's the teaching. That's what you have to overcome, the false teaching that's here. That's the way out. Truth, knowledge, and wisdom. That's the way out of here. People are seeking to get out of this matrix. I see it on TikTok. How do we get out of matrix? There's only one way out. Truth tells you that's the way and the life. I'm going to put to it in the light. How you doing, truther? Set him not by thee. Don't pick up the old. Don't listen to them. You will get pricked if you're listening to false doctrine. Especially in this time. Double time. You're going to lose double the time or recompense. You won't lose anything, but you're going to double recompense on your head. I'm wondering, why is it happening to me when I'm walking like Jesus would? Because my time's over for being healed. When he heals you, he quickens your body so that you can get filled of light. Once you're full, you start dying. You start living in many pains and many sicknesses now I have. One's a severe sickness that I have, and I don't know what it is. I'm in constant pain from head to toe, but what do you do? Someone's always worse, right? That's what I always look at. Someone always has worse than me. So what have I got to complain about? Nothing. Everything that's been put on me is me putting it on me. So if I'm complaining of what I'm going through, I'm complaining at myself and I'm blaspheming myself. So who will pity a charmer that is bitten with a serpent, or any such as come nigh wild beast? Charmers. Teachers today are charmers. They are wild beasts. They're causing everything to go wild. What caused sin? False doctrine. It's a byproduct of it, okay? That's where sin came out of. So one that goeth to a sinner and is defiled with him in his sins, who will pay pity? For a while he will abide with thee, but if thou begin to fall, he will not tarry. Many people had planted seed around me. They go to church, but they fell. They accepted the church and told me I was a liar, yet they're going into a church building. I had a friend do that to me. Why? Because he goes to the church for the wrong reason, to the woman. Uh-oh. If that's what you're going to church for, you're going to meet a bad one at the end. Yeah, she's going to come to you and then murder you. Love you too, brother. That is a witness. My best friend that lives with me, Mark, right there. Many dreams of me in heaven with him. Many. Like 30. He is my biggest witness of this channel. He's the one that helped me come on here. Told me, Rod, you should be on. I already planned it. But he's the one that motivated me an extra to come on here. And he hasn't turned back. And once he defiled one of my false teachings. And he'll tell you what happened himself. He paid for it. God told him in a dream. I'm only here to give the word to you. That's it. That's all that matters to me. Whether there's one person watching or 5 million, I care less. I'm not here to do some sort of act like I'm special or something. Because I don't even think I am. I'm no specialer than any other ding dong. I am a ding dong, but I'm not. You know what I mean? I just use the phrase, okay? I'm not trying to put myself down here. I live in a beast. What do you want me to say? It's beautiful. Huh, stinks like stink. You ever heard about the song of Mr. Grinch? Stink. Stank. Stunk. That's what this thing is. Okay, set him not by thee, lest when he had overthrown thee, because that's what they're trying to do. He stand up in the place. He's standing up in your place, speaking your words, but changing them. Never let him sit at the right hand, lest he seek and take the seat. And thou at the last remember my words, and be pricked within. Okay? An enemy speaketh sweetly with his lips, but what does he do behind? But in his heart he imagineth how to throw thee into a pit. He will weep with his eyes, but he will find opportunity. He will not be satisfied with blood. No, I want you to die. They want you to fail. Why? Because they know that they're failing. An adversary come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. An adversary, there's your angel. And through he pretended to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Okay. Thou shalt, it's speaking different than what I was saying. If an adversary come upon thee, thou shalt find him there first. And through he pretend to help thee, yet shall he undermine thee. Yes, I have that happen to my daughter-in-law all the time. Well, I'm going to give you prayer, and in that prayer, she'll say self-faith teaching to me. She'll pray for that over me. We need him to see this. I'm like sitting there going, I had this happen to me all the time. My wife does it to me, probably 2 or 3 times a day. So I'm kind of used to that. He will shake his head and clap his hands and whisper much and change his countenance. And that's what I'm doing behind the scenes. I am clapping my hands. I am crying in joy. Yesterday, again, I was thanking so much that I started tearing. It's not crying for them anymore. I don't have as much mercy as I used to for them. I still have mercy for them. I still have hope as the mercy I have for the people. But I know. You guys know maybe 2 out of 100,000 people are going to make it in this time. In the whole world. Every 50,000 out of one family. Some people aren't even going. See, we're living in the time that if we didn't find our Holy Spirit in the other 2 times that we attempted, but see, we already picked up our pearls from those times. We wear a crown of pearls. That means more than one pearl, more than one dove, more than one life. I heard that yesterday. Once again, adding to the wings, the eyes, the feet, the hands, telling you, your hands have been on this earth for the entire time, since Troth. Troth was Jesus. No, he wasn't. Yes, he was. I just didn't have the name yet. He was Shem. It was Shem and Troth that was his good bad angel above him. And down here he was Troth. See, the children had been, that's the first. Anyways, let's move on. He that toucheth pitch shall be defiled. Therewith he that have fellowship with the proud man shall be like unto him. So that's why we don't fellowship with them, the false Christians. Because hang with that guy too much longer and you will be his twin. Burden not thyself above the power while thou livest. Why are we taking burdens? Because we're putting them on ourselves. And have no fellowship with one that is mightier and richer than thyself. For how agree the kettle and the earthen pot, Satan, thyself. How agree the kettle and the earthen pot, this clay pot, together? The kettle and the pot. Well, the kettle comes within. You know, a kettle, the water boils and it comes to the top. It mixes the coffee, brings it back down. Up, down. Keeps raining down on you, the coffee. Out through the filter, what you live in, comes the good. Cleans the coffee, so you can drink it. For the one be smitten against the other, it shall be broken. The rich man hath done wrong, and yet he treateth the poor is wronged, and he must entreat. If thou be for his profit, he will use thee. But if thou have nothing, he will forsake thee. To me, I don't care what you have. If thou have anything, he will live with thee. Yea, he will make thee bare, and he will not be sorry for it. That's your Holy Spirit. He's going to strip you. He's going to make you bare naked and cover you with his blood, his protection, his light, his truth, his knowledge. If he have need of thee, he will deceive thee and smile upon thee, and then put thee in hope, and he will speak thee fair, and he will say, what wantest thou? Nothing. I don't want anything. He'll have every answer. Listen, I don't have every answer. Okay? This guy, well, if he doesn't have an answer, he'll replace theory. He'll put his own answer in there. He's got to make sure he fills it, right? Me, I don't have an unfinished book. I've read all 366, taught almost all of them. Not if all of them. I don't know which ones I don't keep control of that. So, and he will shame thee by his meats. His meats are not anything. But our meats will shame them until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice. There's the 3 times. And at the last, you see, I knew that until he have drawn thee dry twice or thrice. 3 times we had to come down to hell. And at the last, he will laugh thee to scorn afterwards. When he seeth thee, he will forsake thee and shake his head at thee. That's what we're going to do to them. They're going to see you. Okay? We're going to come back on our horse of glory. Ourselves, our workhorse. And they're going to see you. I've had that dream twice. Beware thou be not deceived and brought down into jollity. Fakeness. Fake joy. If thou be invited of a mighty man, withdraw thyself, and so much the more will he invite thee. Withdraw from Satan. Let me read that again. So you could also say, withdraw thyself from self, and he'll draw quicker, closer to you. So if thou be invited of a mighty man, withdraw thyself. And so much the more will he invite thee. So you're going to go through a time where you're going to have to keep saying no, 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 over and over. He's going to keep inviting you. He doesn't stop inviting you for your entire life. But I'll tell you, after 4, at the stage of 4 is where everything starts coming out. You got to be prepared to fall many times and get back up. Sin many times and get back up. Press down upon him, lest thou be put back. Stand afar off, lest thou be forgotten. Really, really telling you to watch out for these false teachers. Don't go fellowshipping anywhere. You are fellowshipping here, more than fellowshipping. Affect not to be made equal unto him. No. Equal unto him in talk. And believe not his many words, for with his communication he will tempt thee and smile upon thee. He will get out thy secrets. See? I know a girl that's doing this on TikTok to get the secrets. Huh? She'll go and say, well, I heard this, and I believe this, but do you know what's going on? And it's a tough question. You see, they will trick the answer out of you. They may get it, but all they're going to do is use it for their glory anyway. So that doesn't going to do anything for them. I got to use the washroom. Sorry, guys. Okay. Sorry, guys. Problem is I go to sleep and I wake up and then I got to go to the washroom a bunch of times. So, but cruelly he will lay up thy words and will not spare to do thee hurt and put thee in prison. Observe and take good heed, for thou walkest in peril of thy overthrowing. When thou hearest these things, awaken thy sleep. Love the Lord all thy life, and call upon him for thy salvation all the time. Every beast loveth his like. They love themselves. And every man loveth his neighbor. See, That's why we're the son of man, because we're decent. They're a beast because they're empty and naked. Every beast loveth his like. I don't love my beast. Every man loveth his neighbor. There's the Son of Man, no matter who they are. Evil doesn't love his neighbor. Only the Son of Man really loves people, even when they hurt you. All flesh consorteth accordingly to kind, and a man will cleave unto his like. They're a beast. A beast cannot cleave unto a man's like. No, it's a beast. I heard someone saying, "We'll not cleave in this day." You want to bet? This is the day of cleaving. That means becoming. What fellowship had the wolf with the lamb? Zero. So the sinner with the godly. Well, we live in one. We live in a wolf. All flesh is wolf's clothing. So when they say that's a sheep in wolf's clothing, no. You're either, everybody's a wolf, but you either have the sheep clothing inside or above, or you don't. See, they say that wrong. That's wrong. When they say you are a wolf in sheep's clothing, that's wrong. Your clothing is a wolf. You're to take that clothing wolf off. False teaching. Everybody's a wolf. Everybody. What fellowship had the wolf with the lamb? He's lying down with the lamb right now. Well, that happens in heaven. No. You are the lamb inside, laying down inside a ravaging wolf. So, sinner with the godly. What agreement is there between the hyena and a dog? And what peace between the rich and the poor? We're the ones going to be the hyena at the end. We were the ones being hyena to, laughed at. Well, we get the last laugh. He who laughs last laughs first. He who laughs first laughs last. See how they're born? They're born into the light because this is their light. So they're laughing the whole way until they start finding out that they got to die. Then they hate. Arnold Schwarzenegger said, "Why do we have to effing die?" He doesn't want to die. What agreement? Why? Because they fear where they're going. They know. What agreement is there between the hyena? Okay. As the wild ass, as the lion prey in the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. Telling you that they're wild beast, a wild ass. That means wild beast. That they're the lion and you're the prey. And I'm the lion to them and they're my prey, but it's a different lion. It's the lion. I'm a lion of Judah. Everybody is. It's not just one person that's the lion. We all are. In the wilderness, so the rich eat up the poor. If people are scared to admit who they are today, I'm not. I'll go and tell you I'm God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and everything else. And then I'll tell you I'm a sinner. As proud hate humility, so does the rich abhor the poor. These church pastors are never going to come out and say they sinned. They're never going to come out and give you the truth of what they lived through because they didn't live through enough to teach. A rich man begging to fall is held up of his friends, but a poor man being down is thrust away by his friends. You. So when a rich man is fallen, he hath many helpers. He speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet man justify him. The poor man slipped, and yet they rebuke him. He spake wisely, but could not have no place. When a rich man falls, everybody's at his beckoning because of his money. Once his money's gone, they're gone. When a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue. But what he saith, they extol it to the clouds. Yeah, they give it to the heavens. Say that comes from the heavens, from these false teachers. That's what it's talking about the entire time. They say it in the clouds. They bestow it in the clouds. That's their treasury. If it's false doctrine, it gets saved over at the left for punishment at the end. But if the poor man speak, they say, what fellow is this? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. And they will be the first one to walk over top of your body to get across to the other side and laugh at you as they do it. Riches, this is the church, man. This is how brutal they are. They're the evilest of all. And they're hard to see. Not for me. Open your mouth for 2 minutes and I'll see who you are. The heart of a man changeth his countenance, because that's where your spirit is, whether it be good or evil. And a merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance all the time. A cheerful countenance is the tokens of the heart. That is the prosperity and the finding out the parables in the wearisome labor of the mind. It's going to wear you out. This is how the labor is. You get worn out. When you get to the 4th, it's brutal until you get to the 8th and 9th. Then it mellows out. Then the 10th, it gets a little bit easier. 11th, and I'm sitting probably at 11th and 12th right now. That's when you're at your most potency of teaching. Blessed is the man that is not slipped with his mouth. With his mouth. You guys have been listening. It doesn't talk about sin very often, physical. The sin is with the mouth, and it is not pricked with the multitude of sins. Fleshly sins. It's pricked with its mouth. The sins coming out here, not the sins that's done with the flesh. Now, if they're doing both of them, false teaching and sinning, well, those are just ones that are here to do just period that, to cause destruction. They're not up against anybody. They're just up against the world. They're ones that don't go either way and just add evil. Blessed is whose countenance hath not condemned him. Mine doesn't condemn me. Mine keeps telling me. Theirs is doing that now. That's why they're seeking, because they're not. Right now, they're thinking but they're having something wrong in their brain. They can't quite put their finger on it. This is the false Christian. His hope in the Lord. Riches are not comely for a niggard. What's that? That's the slave to a slave. What we should envious a man to do with money. That one I'm going to move on with. I don't like that. He that gathereth the defrauding his own soul gathereth for others that shall spend his goods righteously. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? He shall not take pleasure in his goods, because you're evil to yourself. I mean, till you learn when you do something wrong, not to be evil with yourself, and you won't stop doing it. That's a there's a sin test coming up. I've had it throughout my entire life. You're going to have to sin to see if you still follow after. It's going to happen over and over and over. That's when you lay it aside and go, I can't do anything. I'm too weak for that one. That's not for me to handle. And that's what I did. And I said to that sin, I have to ignore that one God. I'm too weak for it. And he goes, a couple months later, hasn't happened. And anyways, I got to move on because I can't talk about that. There's none worse than, it's because if I talk about it, I'll be tested. Then he that unveileth himself, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. And that he's not unveiling himself to everybody, but to you. And if he do good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness. Yeah, you'll be able to be seen. Right now, the veil for that is open. You can open your mouth for 2 minutes and preach the word. You best be careful when you do it to me. The envious man why at the end? Because at the end, people will have enough smarts, us, that you won't be able to trick them, even if you were the wickedest trick of trickers. Trick-or-treating garbage. So a covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion, and the iniquity of wickedness drieth up his soul. They want to dry you up. All right, time to rest again, guys. Be back on for another hour in a bit. I'm not sleeping. I'm just doing these 45 to an hours. See you in a bit.